Hey everybody and welcome.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Steam Machine Podcast. This is Dalton and I'm here with the Brothers of Destruction, Save Willie and Nate. How you guys doing?
Hi, I'm Nathan and I'm here on the show.
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, today we'll be talking about Doom from 2016.
Is that your me impression? I love
Yeah,
that.
that was my Dalton.
That's pretty good.
Got some bass in there.
That's pretty good. Yeah. If you throw some Canadian on that, you'll sound like Polish. But yes, everyone. As Nate said, as me, welcome to the Steam Machine Podcast. You already know who these two guys are. We've been through this.
We've ruined the podcast for at least a month now.
Been longer than that, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it was at least a month with Dragon Quest XI.
Dragon Quest.
That's true.
Yeah, this week we dove into hell. I dove into hell. Nate dipped his toe into hell.
What the hell?
And you did get to hell. I'm just giving him shit. But like, first and foremost, gentlemen, how are you doing?
Fantastic, buddy. Fantastic. So I know last week's episode I kind of brought up that I was having issues with my ear where they said that I might have a cholesteatoma was the word. That was basically like a build-up, like a tumor basically behind my ear. I went to an actual ENT this week and they told me that, nah, bro, they're just looking at scar tissue from your previous ear tube surgeries. There's nothing really in there other than that. You just have an ear infection. Here's some antibiotics. Get out of here. So basically, I'm on antibiotics now. I'm hearing better, and I have a follow-up appointment coming up, but I don't expect anything else to come of it. So thanks for the good vibes if y'all are worried about me, but we are good to go now.
How's your hearing doing, though? Like, you said you could only hear, 10% out of one of your ears at that point. Like, how's it now, would you say?
Yeah, it's not 100. Like I've always heard better out of my right ear than my left ear, so it was really kind of a big bummer that it was my right ear that was going through that. It's still not at 100%. I'm still hearing a little bit better out of my left than my right, but I think I'm getting closer to 70, so we're getting there.
I'm just glad it's not a tumor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not a tumor.
I know last week I was complaining because I'd been laid up for the whole weekend because I'd been injured and had an inflammatory condition that was messing my knee up. My knee's a lot better this week. I can actually walk and do work and stuff. I've been working a lot this weekend though because I was trying to make up for the time that I lost when I hurt the knee, so I didn't get to finish this game. I got to about to the halfway point. We'll talk about that later. But I can straighten my leg all the way out now. That's really good. I can walk around and work. That's really good. I think tomorrow, to hit the downside guarantee I have for this promotion I need to make 15 deliveries, so that's going to be a tricky nut to crack, but I'll get up early tomorrow and get out there all day and do 15 deliveries. That's how I live.
Hit it hard. Hit it strong, hit it hard. That way you can come home and relax and know that you did that shit and you got that extra bit coming to you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A nice little windfall.
For sure.
How you doing, Dalton? I know your back had been hurt a couple weeks ago.
I can walk straight. It's still sore here and there. I think it's because my bed's a piece of shit. But I can walk straight, so that's not, it's better than it was. I don't have a nagging
good to hear
pain,
about any improvement. So,
yeah, I'll take any improvement, and not hurting every day when I'm just sitting trying to do anything, is better. So, let's hope I don't throw it out again tomorrow when I have to mow the lawn. Because that's how I threw it out last time, was cranking the fucking lawnmower. So
take it easy, buddy.
It'll be interesting. I thought about trying to rig it, so because it's a walking mower. I have a self-propelled walking mower because when I was younger, I crashed my riding mower into a tree, and
they don't trust you with one anymore.
No, it's not that they don't trust me with one. It's just now it's old, and it's been fixed since then and stuff. But now it's just old and doesn't crank, and I don't want to spend the money to try to fix it when I have a self-propelled mower. My yard's really not that big.
Yeah.
And I now can hatch some Pokemon while I'm walking around my yard, hopefully. So that'll be cool because I've started playing Pokemon Go. The guys at work all play it, and we've had a lot of downtime between customers here recently. So we'll just all whip our phones out and try to do a raid battle because right next to our restaurant is a Pokestop, and then across the street is a gym. So it's
nice.
all day. We're just
Yeah.
catching shit and just spinning those things to get more Pokeballs. It's
pretty good, man. I definitely enjoy playing Pokemon Go. Like, so here lately, I've been trying to get myself back in shape too. So I go hiking a lot, and so I always have Pokemon Go while I'm up doing that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a motivator for just little bits of activity like that, even.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, you've been hiking really hard lately, Nate.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's like my favorite way of getting fitness done, that and lifting, and I haven't really felt like going to the gym, and it's been pretty nice out this week, so take advantage of it while you can.
Yeah, tonight it's been really lovely out. Sorry I had to get up to walk for a moment. I just realized I didn't shut off my air conditioning until just now, so the sound thing is going to be a bit of an issue.
It'll be all right.
No worries.
All right. I'll fix it. Don't worry about it. Now, I like to hear that you guys are having nice weather. Would you like to hear how Florida's been the past fucking week or two?
Let's hear it, buddy.
It's either pouring fucking rain or god-awfully hot. There's been no in-between. It's either, like, cool but absolutely soaking wet, or nice and hot and misty and muggy and just humid. The other day, we were sitting out smoking a joint behind the restaurant, and we were just, like, talking, and I pulled out my phone, and I looked, and it said it was 88 degrees, but it felt like 99, and I'm like, that's stupid.
That is stupid.
I was like, for one, they should just say it's 99 degrees, because if it feels like 99 degrees, it's fucking 99 degrees. Like
that wet bulb temperature, whatever it's called.
God, yeah, the real feel, or they can eat that. Real feel can eat my ass. It's like, oh god, it's so hot out here, for no reason. And then, like, especially back in the dish pit, like, I'm just constantly steam coming out of the thing with the, oh man, so I just sweat while I'm at work. I just sweat. That's what I do. So I hope I'll lose some weight. That would be cool. Get rid of some of this right here that I'm jiggling my second chin for those of you who can't see. Oh man. So yeah, man. One other thing I want to touch on before we jump into Doom. I've been playing the shit out of Pathfinder Kingmaker.
Yeah, you brought it up last week. You've been really feeling into it, getting a lot of different character designs going on.
I really
So did you
enjoy
find someone you really wanted to play as? Or?
So I think I've got basically my whole party now. I could be wrong, but I basically run my guy, who is a fighter with 1 point into druid, so he can have a animal companion. So I have a bear, or no, yeah, I have a bear. Or is it my guy that has the Smilodon? Sabretooth. I've got like a Sabretooth. It's called a Smilodon, but it's a Sabretooth tiger. And then Tristian, my healer guy, has a bear. Because I put a point into Druid with him so he could have an animal companion. I thought about doing that for each of my characters, giving them each one level in Druid, but I haven't.
And then they all mesh their forces together and summon the Megazord.
Exactly, yeah. They just come together. They form one of those giant Lord of the Rings trees.
Nice.
But I run, and Tristan's a cleric with a point in druid and then some levels in sorcerer. I got Livy. Is that her name, Livy? I don't remember the names right off the hand. Lindsay. She is a bard, straight through and through. Bard. All her levels are in bard. I have a barbarian chick, Amiri, and she's got all her points in between barbarian and fighter. And then some others that I can't remember. Octavia is one I remember. She's like one of my rogue chicks. And I just got one that I don't know why, but made me think of you guys when I got up. His name is Knock Knock, and he's a goblin.
Who's there?
A goblin.
A goblin who?
Goblin who?
Goblin these nuts, guy.
Oh, damn
Got
it.
him!
Beat me to it. I was like trying to formulate a joke in my head, and that was where I went with it too. I was like, a goblin this dick? Yeah. But yeah, he's cool. He's a little badass. I put him in just straight rogue. He's like level 19 rogue or something, which is stupid because all my other characters are like level 14, so he's way more powerful than all of them. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. There's a plague going on that I have, according to the game, like 50 days to solve in game, and I had a lot more than that, and I forgot about that quest line.
Be nice to solve a plague in 50 days. End of topic.
That would be a cool movie. How to Solve a Plague in 50 Days. But yeah, and what's funny is that the plague is killing a lot of my kingdom, and I'm like, oh shit, I guess I better get on this. Like, I just went straight American. Like, you mean half the kingdoms die? Oh, okay. Let's fix this.
Which half? No.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's cool about Pathfinder is you can make, like, they have the lawful good, lawful neutral, lawful evil, true neutral, chaotic good, chaotic evil, and chaotic neutral, or chaotic good, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil. So like all of the ranks that they have in D&D as far as like how you want to be, you can make your character through your choices and stuff. So I am pretty much chaotic good, which is weird because most of my D&D characters are almost always chaotic neutral. But when it comes to video games, I'm more of like trying to be the hero kind of guy. Although I would like to play through this game and do an absolute villain run. Like, I think that would be interesting. Just be lawful evil or chaotic. No, be chaotic evil. Just fucking pure evilness incarnate. Just like slay anyone who's against me. Fuck bitches. I don't know. I don't know.
I do feel like I've never run a lot of D&D D&D campaigns before, but I do think that having like a lawful evil party would be an interesting thing to do. Although it would definitely depend on the people playing the game, you know?
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine who straight up refused to play in or run evil campaigns.
Yeah, no, that's completely reasonable.
He was like, I don't want to see that side of myself, and I don't want to see that side of y'all. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of people, when you let them play an evil character, they do not tap the creative side. You know, they just go for the absolute god. Okay, yes, Nathan. Nathan is making the Dr. Evil hand sign from the movie Austin Powers.
I think that would be like chaotic evil. Or no, not chaotic evil, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Actually, I mean, Austin Powers negotiates with
neutral
people.
Evil.
He's very... Or Dr. Evil. Yeah, I think Dr. Evil is a neutral evil character.
Didn't get his PhD in evil medical school for nothing.
Or
he's neutral to lawful.
I was gonna say, he might even be chaotic neutral. Like, and just says he's evil. Like, because, you know, he's never done anything super evil that I've seen.
No, it's maybe actually true.
Although, one of the funniest things...
He's just a wacky dude.
One of the funniest things in those movies to me was in Goldmember. When he's like doing this whole spiel in the beginning, and he's like, and the best part about it is, Austin Powers will never find me. When they also doing that, and then Austin just bursts in, and he's like, Dr. Evil, you're under arrest, baby. And it just pans to Dr. Evil. He just stands there and goes, shit. And just
yeah.
The way he drops that, it makes me laugh my ass off every single time. Mike Myers is awesome. I don't think he gets enough credit because of the Love Guru.
You think that the Love Guru has done him enough damage that people remember and think about that movie ever?
I mean, it doesn't matter. He's living off Shrek royalties at this point. He can do whatever he wants.
I think he's good.
I was going to say, besides Shrek...
Nobody thinks about the Love Guru ever.
I think that's the last action movie that he's done. Or not action, live action.
You're probably right.
I think since then, he's just lent his voice to things. And I'm like, man, I remember Homeboy from like So I Married an Axe Murderer, which is a great movie. That I watched as a kid. Like, Mike Myers is the man. And his Saturday Night Live shit, amazing. But I do thoroughly, and I've never even seen The Love Guru. I've got it around here somewhere on DVD. Never seen it.
We're just all
go ahead.
We're sure that it's bad just from, you know, the fact that we have eyes and ears and know things. I don't think anyone's seen the movie. I don't think anyone on earth has watched the movie. I think that you might actually grab The Love Guru, put it in your VHS, VCR, plug it in, press the play button, and it just tells you the meaning of life. Because no one's fucking watched The Love Guru. No one, ever.
You just gave me an idea for one of the joke SCPs. The Love Guru. And it's like, no one's ever actually watched it. It's like, you think you watch it, honestly, but you don't.
As I was saying that, I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of like a safe safe SCP.
Yeah.
Safe class.
Yeah. Class safe. Subject, DVD. The Love Guru. Oh, man.
SCP-6969, baby.
I would be convinced that it's
not...
Oh,
God, do they have a 6969?
That I don't know.
You know, I'm just gonna go check the wiki real quick.
I was gonna say if you want to look it up, I'm not sure, but
I'm absolutely gonna.
I'm almost willing to bet that I would almost like The Love Guru because I like all these Adam Sandler movies that everyone and every critic ever has shit on. Like I like them. I don't know. I liked Click. Everyone shits on Click. I liked Mr. Deeds. People shit on Mr. Deeds. I don't know. So, but I also
Mr. Deeds wasn't good, but it had a moment. There is an SCP-6969. I'm not gonna read it though. Apparently, they got into the 6000s recently.
okay. I was gonna say, wait. No, you gotta at least give me the name of it. After all of that, I need to at least know what the fuck it is.
The name of it is literally "The Joke Is Sex."
Oh, okay. The Joke Is Sex. Okay,
So it's going to be like one of the more memey comical ones.
I was gonna say it's got to be a joke SCP, and there are a bunch of those in there.
But it's not a -J. It's not a -J. It's in the main list. So.
All right, gentlemen, let's go. SCPs is a good transition into demons and hell. So, Nate, I want to start with you. You loaded the game up. What was your first thoughts? How did it hit you? Going into it playing classic Doom, then jumping to this. Hit me with it, brother.
Yeah, definitely, dude. So, like, the first thing that really hit me was I turned on Doom. I was like, hell yeah, let's go kill some demons, man. And I thought my computer was having a freak out because I looked down at my keyboard and it was, like, flashing all these different colors that I had never, like, set up because I have it set to be a nice, cool, like, campfire-looking scheme going on my RGB on my computer. And it was just going wild and crazy. I was like, what is happening to my keyboard right now? So I kept like alt-tabbing out of Doom, like, what is my keyboard doing? And trying to fix my keyboard. Finally went into my Synapse Razor app, and it was like, the application Doom currently has control of your keyboards. I'm like, what? Nice. So I was just like, just from the get-go, Doom already had me stressing out. Because I was like, why is my computer freaking out and messing up right now?
It's pretty cool that they can do that, though.
Yeah, I like it's the first time I've experienced that with any game, so it was like a really neat experience for me because like I was just like, what is happening right now? This is wild. So I definitely enjoyed that. Once I figured out what was going on, I was like, okay, I dig it. And then got into the game, and I was just like, it hits different than classic Doom, like
yeah,
it is so much more intense. Like I was like stressed out the entire time I played this game, and not in a bad way. Don't get me twisted. Not in a bad way at all. But I was just so stressed out. Like every corner, something was going to come after me, and it was just genuinely felt pretty scary. Which is kind of what we were looking for with Blair Witch that it never gave us. Yeah. So I was just like, man, this is wild and pretty awesome. But I am stressed the hell out. I was only able to like play like one mission at a time. And be like, all right, I got to take a break from this. And unfortunately, that meant that I really only had time to play the game twice before we recorded, so I only got 2 missions in. But from what I did do, I've super enjoyed. I was playing on Hurt Me Plenty, which is basically your stock standard difficulty level. It's not the easy mode. It's not one of the hard modes. But it was still harder than I really expected. Like, there's a mechanic in the game called glory killing that you have to do in order to get like the enemies to drop things. And like even on that mode, I felt like if you weren't glory killing, you were gonna die pretty fast because you're dropping health constantly just because there's a lot of enemies. And the enemies in this game are like, you run into an imp. You think about what an imp is in the classic Doom, just this slow little brown dude that throws fireballs at you. This imp was just jumping around like crazy. He had acrobatics, could just like his dexterity checks were crazy. And just fleeing fireballs at you. Then I felt like he teleported, or maybe he just moved so fast that I thought he teleported.
It might be, like, I know that they jump around and climb a bunch, and if you saw one kind of teleport, it honestly might have been another one spawning in.
That's true.
Because they just kind of appear out of these little portal things that open up.
Yeah, so like, the one thing that really stuck with me is like at the very first mission where you get into this one room, and I don't remember what it's called. What is the core? Not the core.
The gore nest?
The gore nest, yeah. Just basically something you have to like reach into and to rip the heart out and crush it to make the monster stop spawning in it. And like I just remember seeing that, I was like, oh man, this is really cool. And it was just like, I just really enjoyed that a lot. And then like after you destroyed the gore nest, there was like a ton of monsters you had to take out before you could leave the room. And that was my first experience, like, holy crap, I am so freaking stressed out right now because like any minute I could die to one of these monsters and have to start over.
The waves are no joke.
No.
And they only get harder and more like intense because like later on in the game, and we'll get there and stuff. But like later on in the game, I'd bust a gore nest, and all of a sudden, cacao demons are popping, and hell knights, and imps, and a summoner that I'm like, the fuck? Were summoners in the old game? I do not remember them being in the old game.
No, I think that the idea in Doom 4, the summoner is a new monster that's kind of the replacement for the Archvile. Instead of reviving monsters, it just like shoots at you and also does add a few low-level monsters.
I was gonna say it spawns in enemies. Yeah, that thing is a bit. If you do not take that out as quick as possible, it is going to overwhelm you with imps.
Ooh, that's scary,
dude.
Yeah, it's like I was saying, like it just was stressful. Like I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought those segments were super fun, and like they did a good job of balancing it to where like you could keep your health up, you could keep your ammo up, but it was not easy. But I think it worked really well for what it was. Yeah, so like unfortunately, I only made it to the second stage. But one thing I really kind of thought was neat about it was I did find one of the secret areas, and when I got there, there was like a little doll there that was like a little action figure of the Doom Marine. And I just thought that was super cute, and I like that Easter egg a lot.
I love that you almost said the Doom Machine.
The Doom Machine podcast. Which is, if Willie had it his way, that's what this podcast would be.
Yeah, I'll do them all the time, baby.
I found 3 of those.
I like that when you pick up one of those little Doom Marine guys, it does a little like
yes,
or just that little reprise of the E1M1 theme from the first.
I found the first one, like in one of the first levels. I found the little dude. He was kind of like out on the ledge on a box almost or something. It's probably the same one you found.
I found too.
I don't remember the name of that one. I know it had a name, but I remember I found one called the Silver Doom guy. And then I found one called Chainsaw Doom guy, or something like that, which made me think of Chainsaw Charlie, which is nice. Terry Funk, for any of those who don't know. But yeah, Chainsaw, the Chainsaw dude, which there were times that chainsaw saved my ass. Did y'all, Willie, did you get to the part where you had to use the chainsaw? Because I don't think that you get it as early.
I had the chainsaw.
Did you?
I found the chainsaw.
That thing came in fucking handy.
So the thing about the chainsaw is you get a limited number of uses of it, but it cuts through an enemy basically instantly. It's just, if it's a larger enemy, like I think a regular, like an imp or a soldier or whatever takes 1, a Hell Knight takes 2. Like, you get deeper into the game, like a Mancubus takes 5 fuel, and you don't have 5 fuel to start the game.
Wow.
Like, you only get 3. So, like, you have to, like, power up your whole Praetor suit to get through that. But, like, when you chainsaw through an enemy, it drops a bunch of ammo instead of
a ton of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's, like, one of the things that really helps is just, like, you blast a few dudes, and then you find an enemy that's, like, kind of got isolated, and your chainsaw through it. You pick up the ammo from that, and you get back into the fight. Like, it's it's crazy how intense the fight sequences are.
I had 2 mottos for this game, which was ABM and AVGK.
Yeah, always be moving.
And always be glory killing.
Always be glory killing.
As soon as you...
The thing about glory killing is it's fun.
It's just brutal.
So a glory kill is basically like a Mortal Kombat style fatality. When you run up on an enemy that's been hurt, they like kind of glow a little bit. They have a blue glow to it. When you get close enough, the glow turns gold, and then you hit the melee attack button.
Okay.
F to pay respects to the fact that they are about to get fucking wrecked. Because once you hit F, your character just runs up and like grabs an imp and like pries their upper jaw and lower jaw apart, or like grabs a Cacodemon's eye and stuffs it down their throat. Like, just constantly doing these creative, violent kills that are very similar to these kills are based kind of almost on like an idea that was used in Brutal Doom, which was a very popular mod for GZ Doom for the old Doom games. And like, when you do these kills, it's like little tiny fatalities. You're briefly invincible. You get a little short cutscene, like 2 seconds long at the most. But during that time, you also, like, when you pop the enemy open like a piñata, it drops health and occasionally some ammo too. And it makes it a lot easier to continue the fight, because if you just kill the enemy with your basic attacks, you may be a little low on health or ammo.
Yeah, and you will run out of ammo. Like, even though there's a bunch around, and you will. Yeah, and health, especially health. except for me. So a few levels in, I don't know what so I joked with the boys about like maybe I should just cheat to play through this game and get to the end of it because I hadn't gotten a lot of time in. So like I don't know, 2 or 3 levels in, I don't know what happened. I glory killed this enemy, and it like glitched me out. I don't know if it put me in a wall or what, but I like had to like keep running in one direction and jump, and finally I was able to move again. And when I came out of there, I had hold on, I wrote down the exact number. 84,372 health. And that number never went down. My armor would go up and down, but my health, it would go down and then go back to that. Go down, go back to that. So I immediately was like, okay, well, I guess I don't have to worry about that anymore. Up until where I'm at in the game now, I did fall off a cliff at one point, and it killed me and then reset me, and it put my health back to normal. And I was like, fuck. So now I have to fight.
You poor baby.
Now I have to fight the final boss with health. Are you kidding me? Come on now. Which, spoilers, I haven't beaten the game yet. I'm going to after we record, unless I just dive right into our next game of the week. But this game, so my first experience was Doom. I think we've talked about on the other ones, was Doom 3, which Doom 3 is a very different game than this. Very different. It's very different than the other Dooms too. I went in starting to play this like Doom 3 and realized that I couldn't do that. I went into this and started trying to play it like I did Doom 2 and realized that I can't do that. Oh, I just hit my microphone. Once I figured out I should play this like I play Serious Sam, boom, that was when it clicked with me. So that was when I just started running and just shooting and running and shooting and running and shooting, and I almost never stopped moving until all the enemies were dead. And that started to make it a hell of a lot easier for me. I also used my controller, which I was going to use mouse and keyboard, but then under the, like, if you go into Steam and do the controller settings and stuff, you can browse other people's controller settings, and someone had made one to make it more akin to a normal first-person shooter, so the sensitivity wasn't near as much as it was normally on the sticks with Doom. And man, it just made it smooth. So I just cruised on through. Glory kills all day, every day. Make it rain blood like Slayer up in this bitch. Right? And speaking of Slayer, I mean, they have nothing to do with it, but like, dude, the soundtrack to this game was fucking fire.
Oh my
just
god,
banging my head, running around killing zombies. I'm like, God, this metal's so good.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I love the callbacks that they did to earlier Doom themes in the game as well.
Yeah.
Like it was just chef's kiss, you know.
And when the deeper you get into the game, there's like music that's like, it's like almost kind of like this kind of dubstep drop the beat type thing, but combined with these like heavy metal like vibes to it. Like it's not quite electronic, it's not quite metal, it's something in between and just like very new and very signature.
Yeah.
Like the entire soundtrack. Mick Gordon is the composer in this game, and he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, super, super good. I would be curious to look into who they brought in to record the guitars, if anybody, or if he did them himself.
I think he actually did most of the recording.
It's fucking impressive.
Like, I think it was basically all in his own studio. He had these all, not all of, I don't even think all of it was like actual guitars. I think some of them was like electronic sounds, and then some of them were like actual like 7-string detuned type sounds.
My kind of shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as if I need to tell you about metal and electronic music.
It's all good, man. It's all good. All good. Wow, my mind just fucking blanked. The fuck was I about to say? Oh,
but yeah, I like one thing I really enjoyed is once you get a little bit deeper into the game, you run into these monsters. Like in the first couple levels, it's mostly like imps and the unwilling, which are like just feeble nothing zombies.
Blow them apart with one shotgun blast. Just boom.
Yeah, but then you've run into what it's called like possessed soldiers, and the possessed soldiers are like kind of similar to chain gunners in Doom, like Doom 2. I mean, they're like, they have like a lot of firepower, and like early on in the game you get a little overpowered, like because you only have your shotgun and your pistol, and you're up against the imps, which no longer get beat easily. They take about 2 shots with a shotgun if you don't really dive it in if you don't get a really good clean shot on it. And then like I don't know, like it's getting good, and then later on, after you finish a couple levels, you start getting your ammunition, you get your weaponry, you've got your the heavy assault rifle, then the plasma gun, and then the rocket launcher, and then the
Gauss rifle,
super shotgun, and the Gauss rifle. Actually, I think I got the Gauss rifle before the super shotgun. The Gauss rifle is like kind of an in between the plasma rifle of this game and like the old school BFG, where it shoots like 20 cell ammo all at once, like phew, like big heavy shots. And then when you're up against these enemies, all of a sudden it brings bigger, badder enemies, and it's like the Hell Knights from Doom 3, and then like classic Doom 2 monsters like the Revenant, the Mancubus, the Cacodemon, the Lost Soul, and the Hell Knight. Or like, I mean, it's Doom 3 Hell Knight, but like they bring them in, and they bring them in fast. Like when you first see the Mancubus, you're like, it gives the Mancubus a little cutscene where it like pops up out of the Argent Tower, and it looks like so scary and huge and terrifying. You fight it, you beat its ass, and then there's like 3 more in that arena. You've got it's like dead simple in Doom 2. You're back in the shit. It is not easy.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest regret in not playing further into this game, because the only real classic Doom monster I got to see what they did with was the Imp, because I didn't make it to hell like you guys did, or even far enough to, because I think I've seen pictures of it before, but I want to see the Cacodemon in action in this game.
They're fucking terrifying looking. They're fucking terrifying.
I feel like you would really like the Revenant, because they've gained mobility. They like have like a jetpack type thing on the back of them, and they like fly down at you.
Those guys are assholes. Crazy. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, they are.
I did eventually. I ended up fighting Cyber Demon. That was the.
I didn't get that far into the game, so how did that go for you?
Oh man, so it was a cool fight. It's why I'm kind of like I want to finish this game to see how they end it. Because I know I'm relatively near the end, and when I did the Cyber Demon fight, he was the first enemy that showed up that had a big ass health bar that popped up, and I was like, oh okay. So I pulled out the Gauss rifle. I had some upgrades to it. I used all my ammo on him with that, and then I pulled out the shotty and started doing so like you could upgrade your weapons and stuff, and the upgrade that I used for the shotgun was the burst shot. So like you would charge it up and it would charge 3 shots, and they go do and let them out all 3. I had that fully upgraded, so I just unloaded on the Cyber Demon with that. He was a big hulking monstrosity of evil, right? Of course. And you kill him, he falls down, or he goes down where you do the glory kill on him, and you go up and you rip this thing out of his chest that you were looking for, and he falls to the ground, and the thing in your hand rips open a portal back to hell, which you'd already escaped hell, but now you have to go back to hell. So it rips open the portal to hell, and then when you get to hell, he gets like stands up and starts like having this light stuff surge from him and everything, and then his health bar fills back up. You gotta fight him again.
Nice, that's intense.
Yeah, and there was also the shield. Man, what were they called? I don't see them on this little list I'm looking for.
The shield guys, dude.
Hell guards. Yeah.
Those guys sucked.
I'm not even thinking about those. No, those dudes, yeah, they can kiss my ass. The little main enemy dudes that were the shield guys, these were like giant bosses with health bars, but they could put this fucking like green shield ball thing around them, and you couldn't do any damage till it went away. You had to fight one of them, and you beat that, and then 2 more spawn, and you had to fight 2 of them at once, and it's like, son of a bitch. So that was a hard ass fight too. I swear I only got through it the way I did because I had the glitched health. That's the only reason. I'd have gave up a long fucking time before that. Because that, like you mentioned earlier, they don't fuck around, dude. When you break one of the gore nests and you go into that and you start hearing that metal start and starts getting louder and louder as these demons are spawning in, eventually, dude, there are like there were times where I'm looking around, there were like 50 demons in this room at once. Now, I will say, I did open one door at once, and I opened it up, and inside this giant-ass room were a bunch of red barrels strategically placed all over the place, and then, like, 100 imps and unwilling, or whatever they're called. Yeah, and I just went, boom, shot the red barrel, and they just like in domino effect, the whole room exploded, killed every
That's
single
fine.
fucking demon in there, and I was like, yeah, that was super satisfying. Super
So I
satisfying.
was curious, is there a equivalent to like the Pinky Demon in this game?
No, there's Pinky.
Yay! I love that guy.
Fucking hate those things. Like in this game, dude, they like you'll have like 5 or 6 of them spawn in one room, and they're all just charging and running at you, and you're like, fuck, and you got to kill them. And then specters, they had specters too in this game.
Oh wow!
The fucking ones that you can barely see.
Can't see. Yeah,
Ugh. I mean, they made it
was not expecting that.
a little easier in this one. Like you can definitely see that something's there, but like you can't really see the the full details of it. But they're cool, man. They almost look like they remind me of like Noob Saibot, Mortal
Nice.
Kombat, like that kind of. But yeah, Hell Knights, dude, are bastards. I had a lot of like, I didn't beat it, but I will say like I had a lot of fun with this game. If I had one word to describe this game, it would be intense. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like some
Yeah.
hippies at a campsite. It's just so in your face, just boom, 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 action, 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 action. I can't even tell you what most of the story was about, other than like you're trying to save Mars from hell.
Yeah,
That's it.
and my one-word description is stressful, but in a good way.
Yeah, I would.
That was.
Oh, go ahead, bud.
No, I was just gonna say it's just so much. Like you do not get a break from the moment you start. Like there's even when you're in your downtime, even when you're not fighting monsters, there's kind of this overwhelming like, oh, I'm gonna get run up on in a moment. Like
It was also
you're expecting enemies to like just run up on your ass and wreck you.
also some platforming I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I think the first couple levels really had a bit of an issue with me there, just because I didn't really expect the verticality too much. Like when you get deeper into the game, you get better with signposting. Like you see a green like light above you, and you realize, okay, that means I can jump up and grab
Yeah.
that. But like early on, it's not easy to see. But when you get like the double jump, especially, that makes it a lot more obvious.
Yeah, the double jump was fucking nice. Be like,
Yeah,
That
was
sounds
was
fun.
really good.
yeah, it was nice. But I found myself having to like I would go from Doom to Pathfinder to just like
Yeah.
ease down, like play something a little more calming, a little more chill afterwards, like, or I would go lay down and grab my 3DS and load up, like Mario or whatever the fuck and play it on there.
Yeah, like that was the same pretty much me. Like I'd play Doom, I was like, all right, now I gotta play Super Mario Maker for 4 hours to get my stress levels back down a little bit.
Yeah, it's not an easy game, and even like you guys both played it or Hurt Me Plenty. So for longtime Doom fans, they've changed up the difficulty levels a little bit. They deleted Hey Not Too Rough, so Hurt Me Plenty is now the medium level, which is the second level out of 5, and then they've brought Ultraviolence down to the third point. Nightmare is now no longer a joke difficulty, but apparently it's super hard. I played on Ultraviolence, so I thought I would be doing good. I wasn't. And there's a new level called Ultra Nightmare, which is just nightmare mode, but with permadeath. So if you lose, your game is just over. You cannot You cannot rejoin.
Question: Nightmare used to be a joke difficulty.
Well, not technically a joke, but like when they added Nightmare to Doom, like it was not intended to be beaten. It was added to the classic Doom games to be like, oh, everyone said this game was too easy. Well, here's this difficulty with 3 times the monster speed and the monsters respawn and all that. And Nightmare on this game does not have that. It just has more intense fighting.
I gotcha.
It doesn't have like the respawn. It doesn't have the extremely intense speed increase, but it just has like more difficult placement and more difficult like ammo conservation and all that.
See, the crazy thing about this game to me is like I did not feel like it was too like overly difficult, but it was just so stressful that it was hard to keep going with. Like I thought it was hard, don't get me wrong, even on Hurt Me Plenty, but it was just like the toll it took on you mentally was a lot worse than the toll it took on you gameplay wise.
Yeah, I want to say that this is the first game that I paused it and I said, I'm too high to play this right now. Like I'm too like I just smoked 2 joints, you know what I mean? I was just ready to like end the night, and I sat down to play it, and it started making me fucking dizzy because I was having to move so quickly and move the camera so fast that I was throwing myself off. I guess my brain couldn't keep up at the time, and it made me nauseous, where I was like, I need to go lay down. In fact, I messaged you guys earlier. I was like, I'm going to take a quick nap, which never happened, but I laid down long enough that I felt better. And then once I got up and was able to come back, then I was all right. You know what I mean? I equate it to when you first start, if you first start smoking pot, but you're also a cigarette smoker. So like you smoke some bud and then you go have a cigarette or two, and that nicotine combines with that THC in your system, and all of a sudden you are like super lightheaded and you might get flushed and you might feel like you want to throw up. It was giving me that feeling, and I'm like, whoa,
wow, why
is this happening right now? But I did get a weird sense of deja vu playing this game. I went into, it was called the Advanced Research Facility, and I started running around in there, and I'm like, this place looks uber fucking familiar to me. And I couldn't figure it out until I got to this one room. I went into this one room. Hold on. Sorry, hold on. All right, there we go. I went into this one room, and it was like, okay, I know this fucking room. Where is it? And then it clicked in my head. Oh, that's right. I have Doom VFR for PS4, which stands for Virtual Fucking Reality. And that's where you're at. And I think you're like a worker there or something. I don't remember really, because VR, especially I don't have a PlayStation Pro, so like I'm running with the low frames of the original PlayStation. Doing VR makes you fucking motion sick. At least it does me. So I didn't get very far in Doom VFR, but you're wandering around this place, and this specific room, you go in there and you have to activate this little robot that's like what are those things that clean your house?
Roomba.
A Roomba. It's like a little Roomba, and you activate it, and it goes through this wall and goes into this other room and gets a yellow key card, I think it was, and brings it to you. And then you're able to keep going. And that was when I was like, oh yeah, that's not in this game though. So what that makes me wonder if they made Doom VFR as just like its own thing. Because I always thought it was just a VR version of this game, but that's not the case.
I think it's a separate storyline in the same universe or something like that.
I might have to play it one day. I might just have to take some Dramamine beforehand.
Yeah, the VR disorientation, because I found this game kind of disorienting already.
Yeah, and I told you guys off air that like my big problem with the VR version was the music's really good, and you aim with your line of sight. So like whatever you're looking at is what you're aiming at to shoot. At least when I was using the controller, because I didn't have the motion controls with the attachment. Like I just had controller and helmet, and I would be shooting the enemies from their crotch to their neck, because I'd be headbanging with the music and just lighting them up. Don't get me wrong, it was a good time, and it was wild seeing some of those demons spawn, and they're like right here, 5 feet from your face. It's like, oh shit. But it's still too intense for me. Like, as much as fun as I'm having with this game, I feel like this type of shooter is too intense for me. And that's weird, because I like Serious Sam, but I feel like it's because Serious Sam is less claustrophobic. Like, you're in a lot bigger environments, more open. You're not in this tiny room with 100 demons swarming the walls and the floor and the air you breathe. Demon semen.
Serious Sam is a really good point to bring up, because I think this game kind of, Serious Sam, when it came out, was kind of a retro game at the time. It was like a snapback against the very serious, very procedural FPSs of the time. It was more about the arena, like bringing it back to like the old school Doom game. I think this game like really uses the same kind of energy that Serious Sam does, and to a lesser effect, like I think a lot of what happens in Doom 4 is almost less like what happened in Doom 2 and more like what happened in like Brutal Doom, like the mod that a lot of people played, where it's like it has the run up and punch enemies to get stuff fatalities and all that.
And like, it could be that they took they took a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Thank you. Yeah, elements. They probably were inspired a lot by that, And also like,
but I think like this game, like I think there've been a lot of like in the last 5 years, there have been a lot of like retro based boomer shooters, as they call them, where they're like inspired by Doom, and I think that you don't have that without Doom 2016 coming out, that like openly panders to that old school style where it's like very much aggressive arena based combat.
Yep.
And I think that's like I think it's really cool.
And I'll say
I
this,
think
like,
this game,
I'm always one of those people that says they don't like first person shooters. I just don't like non-boomer shooters, apparently, because I thought this was a great time.
Yeah, and I think you
Yeah.
would like Serious Sam and Unreal Tournament and Quake and stuff like that. But I think like you're probably thinking more like Call of Duty, that kind of stuff where it's more like tactical. Like I foresee you sitting out whenever we get an Arma game, because those are simulation tactical military shooters.
Kill me now.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's crazy. Just on a little tangent, Arma 3 apparently like has enough keybinds that like you can use your entire keyboard if you wanted to.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Like, you got a button to lean around a corner and like different things like that. Yeah, it seems pretty wild. Also, you can turn up your view distance on that game for as long as your computer can handle it. Basically, like, if your computer can handle running Arma 3 at max graphics with the distance turned all the way up, then you can snipe someone like 2 miles away in game or something like that. Like, it's some stupid amount.
He's just trying to 360-degree field of view.
Speaking of graphical like things, I felt like this game looked awesome.
This game is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Fucking gorgeous.
Is this like probably the most like GPU intensive game we've played so far? I feel like it has to be.
Oh yeah, especially for the show. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I feel like
awesome.
the stylization of it too, like when you beat an enemy bad enough that they're ready to be glory killed and they just start like lighting up a little bit, like that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like,
They had that
there's a
shimmer.
lot of neat effects this game uses. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually going to comment on that. I was going to say that, like, how did this look? I know I was going to say, like, other than you loading up No Man's Sky, this was probably the first game that was like, let's see what this PC can do type thing, you know?
Yeah, and I was super impressed with it. Like, I thought it looked gorgeous. I checked my settings when I went into it to see what my graphics settings were. That was all on high, so it was, like, running everything smooth as butter. And, like, I was really impressed with how good this looked. And this is, like, obviously came out 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, how did it run for you, Willie? Like, on the graphics card?
Dude, it was beautiful. Everything was a little bit shiny. It took a moment for it to boot up because I got like I think my CPU was gating me on this point. But like, man, it felt good. It looked good. It played good. I got no complaints. I'm very happy.
For sure. Yeah, I was like, I found myself wondering. Now my computer would have shit itself trying, but I found myself wondering, like, I wonder how this would look with ray tracing. And then I think Doom Eternal has ray tracing. So maybe one day I'll have the gall to play Eternal. Like, but I need a break from intensity, which is funny because like our next game, which if you're in the Discord is apparently no surprise at all, fucking overwhelmingly won. Might as well bring it up. Our next game is going to be Fallout 3. Steamy, the apparently all-knowing robot, heard us talking that you guys have never played one, and he put it into the choosing or voting, and the people spoke, and that is you guys get to play a Fallout game now. But there are going to be some intense / creepy moments in Fallout 3, but it is going to be such a different experience than playing Doom. Like, it is so the opposite of everything that we've done this past week with Doom. It's like, it's not super like run and gun intense. It's like you want to take your time, you want to explore, shoot some shit. You can use this thing in Fallout 3 called VATS. I think it's the very accurate targeting system is what it stands for. I could be wrong. But it pauses time, and you can aim at each body part and kind of like put points to shoot that particular body part, and it gives you a percentage whether you're going to hit it or not. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice and chill, and it's going to be so less intense than than my past few days of gaming have been. But if I had to give Doom a rating, I would give it 8 cacao demons. Cacao. I'd give it 8. Like, it's solid. I think 8 is a solid.
Yeah, for me personally, I agree entirely. This was an excellent game, and I'm sad that I didn't get to play it more, but, you know, life and just the general intensity of the game itself. So I would have loved to have played it more, and I intend to play it more. I do. Like, I feel like this is a game that I can sit down and play one mission a day for whenever I just get froggy enough to jump in and play it, because it's that fun. It really is, but it's also just that stressful. But to me, I 100% agree. 8, with the obvious implication that it could jump up or go down for me because I've only played 2 levels. But I do give it an 8.
I'm going to go with an 8.5. I feel like this was a really good game. I really enjoyed it. It brought me back to a lot of the things I love about Doom. I need to finish it before I really fully grade it. And that's an 8.5 with room to go up or down, but probably up. Like, I really do feel like if I finish this whole game and get all the little, Easter eggs and all that in, I'm probably going to like it enough to be more like a 9.5. But it's an 8.5 as far as I got to play.
Word up. I don't know if we brought it up on the episode. I think we brought it up in Patreon, but I do want to say that in each level there's the lever that you can pull it, and it unlocks classic Doom levels. I thought that was pretty cool. I think we did bring that up though. If so, I'll edit this out, or if not, then like people can just laugh at me because I have stoner brain and can't remember. But I mean, if there's nothing else that you guys have to say about Doom, then we can go into some housekeeping. I wanted to say shout out to Dark Aries, a new member of the Discord, joined the other day. If you want to be cool.
Hey, Dark Aries.
Yo.
If you want to be cool like them, you should head over to the steammachinepodcast.wordpress.com. Click that little Discord button. It'll give you an invite link. You can come join the Discord, chat with us three, and our other people who are in the Discord with us, all those wonderful, wonderful peeps. You can come vote on what game you want to hear about. We do the voting and such in the Discord. Do have social media links on there as well. I do try to keep up with those. I'm not the greatest at social media, but I try. But there's a link for the Facebook, and there's a link for a Twitter. There's a link to my Twitch on there. There's a link to Willie's Twitch on there, and there's a link to Nate's Twitch on there. And I want to go ahead and let these gentlemen plug that real quick before I keep going. So, Nate, you go ahead and plug your channel.
Yeah, guys, you can find me at Turtle Bear Man on both Twitter and Twitch, where I do tweet and I do stream. So, mostly retro stuff on my stream. I've been playing Super Mario World lately. It's been a pretty good time.
You can find me at Icebrand Studios. I mostly don't tweet, and I definitely do not stream very often. But, I'll find a reason.
I mean, you've streamed more recently than I have.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. And, you can catch me, like I said, on the socials. I think my actual Twitter is Steam Machine Dalton. It might be Super Nerd Dalton still. It's one of the two. If you see a fat guy sitting on a cannon, that's me. You're
the only fat guy on a cannon on Twitter.
I would like to know if there are other fat guys on cannons on Twitter. If so, I think we should start a group. Fat dudes on cannons.
Hashtag fat guy on a cannon.
But yeah, I'm in, like, if you pop into Nate's stream, like, you'll catch me on there, and usually bugging him to play Stanley, The Search for Dr. Livingston. But it's a good time, man. Just come hang out with us in the Discord. Come check us out on Twitch. Just join the community, man. We like to see the community grow. More people to talk to about the things that we love, whether it be video games, movies, any nerd culture, wrestling. You can always talk to me about wrestling. Shit. But yeah, man. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening. Shout out to the Patreon. There's also a link to the Patreon on the website. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should bring that up too. Also, I do believe that there is a link to the merch store on the website, the steammachinepodcast.wordpress.com. You can get yourself a cool shirt with the old logo on it. I need to upload some new stuff that I have for some new designs. I'll get around to doing that hopefully sometime this week. But yeah, go check it out. And the only other thing I can think of is if you would be ever so kind is to go to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. That would mean a shit ton, an absolute shit ton. We're sitting at 9 5-star reviews. So I would like to get that number up a little bit. But I do appreciate all 9 of you that have done that. And I think that's it, man. Are you boys ready for some Fallout 3?
Yeah, pretty pumped to see if it lives up to everything I've heard about it.
Yeah, I do want to get you guys the community patch fix mod. But we'll worry about that. All right. So next time you hear us, well, okay. Actually, we need to hash something out really quickly. Are we doing a first thoughts episode on Fallout and then doing the short episodes in between, or do we want to do a short episode next week and then go into Fallout the week after?
First thoughts.
You want to do first thoughts? I agree with that too.
What do you think, Nate?
Yeah, that sounds good to me, guys.
All right, so next week we'll give you our first thought. First thoughts on Fallout 3. And yeah, so for the Brothers of Destruction, Nate and Willie, I'm Dalton. And as always, guys, take it easy.